In the homestead kitchen today, I'm going to be showing you how I make mayonnaise. And the most important element besides good ingredients is the immersion blender. I like the KitchenAid cordless. The reason why I like it, it's got a good battery life. I can take this off and clean it in the sink without the cord. I used to have one with the cord and I didn't care for that as much. So this, I believe, was just over $100, and this is great. I use it a lot. So that is in place. I start with eggs, 3 egg yolks. I already did 2, and I save the egg whites to use either to feed the dogs or whatever. But I save the egg whites. The dogs seem to get everything around here, which is great. It's a good byproduct. So 3 egg yolks. I like to use walnut oil as my oil because it does not have much flavor, if any flavor. I've tried avocado oil, olive oil, coconut oil, and those this is the best. It is a little pricey. The price has gone up. This is over $10 now. It used to be $7.99. So I use a cup of walnut oil. I already have that poured. I like white vinegar. You can get an organic one. I've had a hard time finding that, so I'm just using standard white vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar, but I like to have a more strong vinegar flavor. If you happen to like the Hellmann's brand, I use Grey Poupon for the Dijon mustard. And what I put the eggs in, about 1.5 tablespoons of the vinegar. Sometimes I even put in 2 because, as I said, I prefer that vinegar flavor. 1 teaspoon of the Dijon mustard. I dip it in the oil first, and then it kind of just slides right out of the spoon. Teaspoon of that. I put in a pinch of salt, which I have right here. And I like to do the eggs first to get some thickness to them before I add in the oil. You'll see, it just takes a few minutes. So, and I just use it in this jar, which I'm going to store it in after. So I just get it going here, and you can see it starting to foam up a little bit. Then I just start to add in the oil. And you just keep stirring, stirring, stirring. You'll see it's starting to get thicker. And then it gets to the point where I kind of need 2 hands. So I just stir it, get all the oil incorporated, and you'll see that's it. It's pretty much done. And look at that. It's nice and thick, great consistency. The key is the good immersion blender. And I just take this off. And it can be a little bit messy, but I just get all this back in the... You can use a larger vessel and then pour it into a storage container, but I just try to minimize those, more things to wash. But I'll clean this jar up and I will store the mayonnaise in this. People have different thoughts on how long you can store fresh mayonnaise. I haven't died yet or got sick, but sometimes I have it in there for 2 weeks and haven't had any problem. So we always use farm fresh eggs. And that's about as good as I can get this. And since it has a blade, I don't let the bulldog lick that off. And that's it. You can see it's a beautiful mayonnaise consistency. I will taste test. See if it needs more salt. It's actually pretty perfect. So I just stir that in. I clean up the edge of the jar at the top where the grooves are. And then I just store the lid on, and it's good to go. And then I'll just put this back on, and I will clean this in the sink, in the water. Got a little basin in here, and you can see it starts to clean up. So I'll do that after, and that can just go right in the water. And that is homemade mayonnaise with, we have eggs, egg yolks, walnut oil, vinegar, mustard, and salt. So 5 ingredients and a nice healthy alternative to the mayonnaise made with seed oils that you'll find in most stores.